Hi guys, my name is Versatile Samuel, This video sounds so great. My name is Versatile Samuel, SAMUL, and welcome to today's video. So I want to address a question that's being asked to me like every other day, like really often. And that question is, how do you learn to speak English? Because French people are not really known to speak very well languages in general. So I'm kind of an exception because I'm young and I already speak pretty good English, but not so good, and I'm going to address that in this video as well. So I've never lived abroad except in Japan, but my level of English is kind of the same right now as when I arrived in Japan a year ago. Never lived abroad, my parents do not speak English at home or anything like that, and of course my education in the French system wasn't focused on languages, so I kind of learned the same English as everyone, which is like a sort of very, like, first of all it's British English, and second of all it isn't meant to go very far. The skills that we're supposed to have to pass our final exam at the end of high school is like basic conversational skills, so we're not supposed to be English speakers at the end of our scholarity. So I kind of want to talk about how I learned to speak English because it's something I'm very proud of, and it's non-conventional, and it's a big part of my life as well. You'll understand why very quickly. So in 9th grade, when I was 13, I started watching YouTube. In fact, I, like everybody at school, especially my friends, were talking about YouTube all the time. So I was like, okay, I need to know more about this platform, about what is happening on there. And so I started watching YouTube. I watched the big French YouTubers. So I won't drop names, but like the most famous ones, okay? There's two super famous. I don't watch them anymore, but just because I only watch English now on YouTube. So I started watching these YouTubers, and at some point I was like, okay, I don't watch YouTube enough. Oh my god, I can't relate today. I need to find other YouTubers. So I didn't know where to start, honestly. But I heard a lot about this very famous English-speaking YouTuber, because it's not English, and I wanted to try to see what it was doing, and it was gaming, and of course it was PewDiePie. So I started watching PewDiePie videos when I was 13, and that's kind of where my interest in the internet kind of grew as well, because I started watching YouTube, and like a few months later I created my first social media account, which was on Google+. You can judge me all you want, I don't give a fuck. Sorry, that was a bit rude. So on social media, I had this, I only had French friends, you know, but then I had my first English friends. I remember his Google Plus name, and then that's super funny. And I talked to him a little bit with like Google Translate and my knowledge of English, but it wasn't great, you know. We didn't have a strong bond because I didn't speak the fucking language. So after starting to watch YouTube, because you don't have subtitles on YouTube, and where they are, they're super bad, except if someone made them, but you know, PewDiePie does not have, well, it didn't have subtitles on his videos. So it's kind of, I had to figure out stuff and like search some words and try to understand the meaning, and that's basically how I entered the English-speaking world, was thanks to the internet, in fact. So you know, afterwards I went on social media, like Instagram and stuff, and now you know that I only post in English, like except a few times I post in French, or yeah, in French, well, nothing else. But mostly in English, and it's really a big part of my life. The English-speaking world has brought me a lot of culture that I couldn't have gotten otherwise. Like it's like all the things that I like today, I discovered them thanks to the English-speaking world. And I will always be grateful for that, and it's also the reason why I do videos in English, and I already talked about that, and that's also the reason why I use Instagram in English, that kind of stuff. So yeah, to be short, I learned to speak English thanks to social media and the internet and YouTube. So it kind of pisses me off, everyone around me, because I used to be like, you know, the really obedient kid who was reading books and listening to his parents and everything, and just not being so like kind of staying in the tracks, not too much, but like just enough so it's not scary, you know. And at some point I became this fucked up person with now dyed hair and like fucked up sexuality and gender, you know, that kind of stuff. And usually my parents and the people who see this influence badly on me, they say it's because of social media that I became a bad person, But I mean, I realize now that I was so unhappy before, and I don't want to make this a sad video, so I won't talk a lot about the subject, but what the internet has brought me is like my life. Honestly, it's my life. And you can't really tell, well, you can't really say that I'm addicted to social media and I don't have a life out of the internet right now, because the internet has helped me to like discover who I was and to try and communicate with people, and that's what I came to do. Like afterwards, like at some point I got out of the internet and actually made friends, and my friendly relationships today are like a lot better than what they were before I knew the internet. Proof is I can keep friends now. That's a big start. And I will never show how grateful I am to the English-speaking world, especially America. I say that, but it's mostly America and like other people who speak English. It's not really toward England, even though they made some good movies. Because it's also from the movies now. I try to perfect my English with like series, movies, and of course university, American university. I have no choice but to speak English there. So it's just, I wanted to address this subject because, as I said 15 times already in this video, I get asked this question a lot, and it's hard to explain it to people, especially who don't base in the internet the way I do, and who only speak to people they know on the internet, like their in real life friends and family, which has never been my call. So it's kind of what I wanted to do, because I don't think it's such a rare possibility today. I think many people learn to perfect their languages thanks to the internet, and I don't think there's a shame to see in that. I'm very proud of doing that, because it's like really being based in something, and it's so hard without signs or without facial expression to understand what the person is saying if their grammar is bad. Oh, by the way, about bad grammar, you learned in this video that I learned to speak English thanks to PewDiePie, so that's why my grammar and vocabulary are pretty limited. No offense to PewDiePie, of course, but like he's not an English-speaking person, and sometimes he makes mistakes. Again, obviously because I watched him a lot, and then other people who were like didn't necessarily go to college or everything, so they didn't know proper grammar. So these mistakes, they got on me, and I started saying them, and some of them didn't go away. I think my main problem is vocabulary, though. Grammar is pretty good, especially when I write. So that's all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. That's about all I had to say, and I'm very proud of how far I've come, and you know, to be able to speak in front of a camera is something also I couldn't do like a year ago. No, not a year ago. When did my channel start again? Yeah, 2 years. Fuck me, 2 years ago. But you can go back to my first videos. It's like super bad. The English is bad, and the way I talk on camera is bad and everything. But I just want to say I'm super proud of how far I've come, of how good my English is. Relatively, you know, and then I have nothing more to say, so I will see you guys hopefully in 2 weeks. I love you all, bye bye, love you.